Kirkland, and today I will be demonstrating the Kirby-Bauer lab experiment from a microbiology 214 lab. And before I get started over the materials that we will need for this lab, I'm going to review my lab attire as always. I have my hair pulled back, I have no excessive jewelry, I have my glasses on serving as my goggles or safety shields. I have on this rain jacket that is pretending to be my lab coat. I also have on long pants extending down to my closed-toed shoes. And then my gloves as well, they will be in the materials needed list. So moving forward, for the items that we will need to demonstrate this lab, I have my Bunsen burner here, I have my plate of agar, I have 4 little white blank discs right here that are serving as my antibiotic. I have tweezers or forceps, I have a Sharpie, I have a cotton swab, I have my gloves here, and this red test tube that you see the red liquid in, that is serving as my culture today and my bacteria, and I use food coloring for that. And then here, this clear liquid in this test tube is my ethanol. So I'm going to set a few things to the side that I won't be using right now. I'll always make sure after my bench area, work area is clean, I will put on my gloves. Okay. Now before I turn on my Bunsen burner and get that ready to go, I want to make sure that my plate of agar is prepared, and that is what the Sharpie is for in the items needed list of the supplies. And so what's important is for this Kirby-Bauer experiment, ultimately we're testing different antibiotics to see how effective they are in this type of agar bacteria that we are swabbing on. So on the bottom of my agar plate, I have drawn, as you can see, across, and it has made 4 quadrants. And I've made sure to write this on the bottom, not on the lid or the agar solution itself. And I just did that off camera, but here you have it, that it's ready to go. So I'm going to set this aside, and that's what the Sharpie was used for. And now I'm going to turn my Bunsen burner on. I'm going to ignite it. And remember, our air vents down at the bottom control the temperature of the flame, and I'm looking for that internal blue flame that lets me know that it's hot and ready. So now that my agar solution, or my plate I should say, is in its 4 quadrants, I'm going to open up my cotton swab. Going to get my culture here, and I know that my Bunsen burner is ready. I'm going to remove cap, going to flame it, going to get a sample, going to flame it, cap it. I'm going to set this off to the side. And now I'm going to remove my lid, and I'm going to zigzag this culture. I'm going to do tight zigzags across my agar. I'm going to turn it 45 degrees and repeat the same tight zigzag pattern. I'll repeat. And I want to do this tight zigzag pattern and these 45-degree turns to ensure that I've gotten my sample of my culture evenly distributed over my agar field. Okay. Okay, now into the frame, I'm sliding over my 4 white discs that are serving as my antibiotic. I have my tweezers here, and then I also have this little cup here holding my ethanol. It's very important that you want to make sure that you're very cautious of your ethanol and your Bunsen burner in the same location, as they're highly flammable together. So you want to make sure that you're keeping an eye on that. So what I'm going to do first is going to remove my ethanol. Get my tweezers, and I'm going to sterilize my tweezers. So I'm going to remove the cap, my pinky, sterilize. As you can see, I've dipped my tweezers there. Remove, cap it. Now I'm going to flame my tweezers. I'm going to wait. When I flame my tweezers, the ethanol that was used to sterilize this will ignite a small flame, so I'm going to let that cool down. And then once I know that's ready, these gloves are a little big. Once I know that's ready, then I'm going to pick up my blank disc, and there's 4 blank discs here that I'm going to put in each quadrant. Put it in quadrant 1, or any quadrant, and I'm going to make sure I poke it down a little bit. And I want to put it in the center. And then I'm going to sterilize again. The tweezers are forceps. Cap it. Flame it. Pause. Grab another blank disc. Make sure it's good in the center. Give it a tap. Sterilize my ethanol. Flame it. Pause. Grab the 3rd blank disc. Put it in the center of that quadrant. Sterilize or disinfect one last time. Flame it. Pause. Make sure that it's cooled off. Get my last blank disc. Put it in the last quadrant. There we are. And then I would want to make sure I sterilize my tweezers or forceps again, just to make sure everything is clean and safe. Okay, I'm going to turn my Bunsen burner off. Now that we've completed the leg work of the Kirby-Bauer experiment, again, what this is, what we're looking for in this is overnight or a 24-hour period. I would place this in the incubator, and after 24 hours, I would be able to look and see which type of antibiotic is most effective to this bacteria. And the zone of inhibition is what I'd be looking for, and it basically would be the biggest in diameter around my blank disc or antibiotic. to let me know that that would be the most effective. So again, I would make sure I would put this in the incubator overnight. I would complete the Kirby-Bauer. I could take a look at the growth the next day. So I would make sure I take off my gloves, dispose of my gloves in the proper way, clean my bench work area, and that is it. So thank you for joining for the Kirby-Bauer lab demonstration video.